Now section B, 5A question, sampling. So start by the definition of a sampling. When I'm talking about or mention this question, this is a come from a PYQ as well. Okay, and sampling is a come from the unit 8 research and methodology part. Firstly, secondly, define the sampling in the anthropological research. Okay, then under the first body part, you have to mention about the process of a sampling in anthropological fieldwork. Okay, you have to then describe the type of a sampling, and along with the simple sampling, okay, systematic sampling, structured sampling, multi-stage sampling, you have to mention this part. In the previous year they were asking a 3 kind of sampling, okay, many years ago. So this is from the PYQ. To read that different types of first part of the body, I'm going to repeat it once. Okay, process of a sampling mention, then under the second part of the body mention the types of a sampling, and then you have to mention the impact of a sampling, okay, positive impact or of a sampling, and then conclude by how it has a huge significance in the anthropological studies. A sampling has a huge significance, so that's why chiefdom and a state society. So when you are talking about the chiefdom and the state society, you can notice one thing. Okay, this is completely from the question is from the political anthropology. So when I'm talking about the chiefdom, okay, you can notice this part is the transformation period between the stateless society and the state society. Few society, when stateless society is ending, that is a chiefdom, or when some few state society are start, that is a transformation period between the stateless and the state society. Okay, so how you start define the political organization first. Okay, then introduce, you can write this introduction. Okay, you can define about the chiefdom and the state society under the first part of the body as well, or under the introduction as well. But first you have to define the political organization, and then you have to mention about the features of the chiefdom and the state society along with the examples. Definitely give the examples ki Tonga, Hawaii still using the chiefdom method, okay, tribal societies. And apart from that, you have to mention ki in the ancient societies also there was a state society in during the Indus Valley civilizations, and then compare between the chiefdom and state society. Okay, and then mention the examples, current example as well as the previous old examples as well. Just say for example in India, okay, in the Indus Valley civilization there were a state society. Currently we are in the bureaucracy, so that's why we are in the state society. USA, China, Japan, you can mention all the names. Under the chiefdoms you have to mention the Nagaland, and there is a still is a chiefdom society. Okay, and then conclude by both has its own importance or impact in our society. So conclude by the balance statement ki how it both has its impact in our societies. Okay, next question is the westernization and the modernizations. You guys mostly think ki this thing comes under the paper 2 mostly. Okay, so why it is here? I can notice one thing when we are talking about the Asian culture. What is the westernization? When we are adopting the Western culture, okay, and modernization is when we are evolving technologically or knowledge wise or educationally. So that's why. So this is not only related and in the Indian society. This is all over world. Okay, during our globalization state, now we are becoming into the globalization era, but westernization and the modernization has huge own impact, and people are still becoming westernized. Not only those who are from the India, outside countries as well, they are adopting the Western culture and modernizations as well. So it is evolving day by day. So that's why I am putting this question under the in the paper one. Okay, so under the intro you have to define the westernization as well as the modernization firstly. Then under the first part of the body, discuss the concept of the westernization, features and impact, definitely with the example, and then discuss about the modernization, then features and impact. Okay, and then mention the differences of both the things, and you can conclude by the how it has a safe westernization and modernization has shaped our society, like identity, and then our continuous changes evolve. We are evolving towards the westernization and towards the modernization. So that's why. And when you are going to mention about the differences of westernization and the modernization, so do under the table form, and that time you have to mention because people generally mix both the things. So no, it has a huge differences. So mention these things under the table in the table form, and then conclude. Okay. Physical and cultural evolution. This is the unit 1.4, and how you are going to explain this answer. Okay, when you are talking about the evolution, so under the intro you have to define about the evolution first. Okay, firstly. Secondly, under the first part of the body, explain about the physical evolution, then its features, how we are evolving physically, okay, since prehistory currently. Okay, then under the second part of the body, explain about the cultural evolution, and then under the third part of the body, explain how we evolve culturally and physically, and it's we cultural and physical evolution was happening hand on hand, or it's still happening hand on hand. And under this key points, you have to mention about the how brain expand and tool use also expand. When we need it, when we feel brain expand, we tool use also expand. We started agriculturing, Neolithic phase came at that point. Then bipedalism happened. That time feeding on the hand. So when we start, and we are just try to cultivating. Okay, when we become bipedal. Apart from that, control fire. Okay, the language also evolved when our vocal cord was evolving. So, and that has a huge social change. So you have to mention all this side side by side, how physically and culturally we evolve in a simultaneously. And then the interrelationship and the differences. Okay, mentioning interrelationship and the differences of a physical and the cultural anthropology, and conclude by they physical anthropology and cultural anthropology evolving together define up our current human being. Okay, if we are not evolving in a simultaneously now, then maybe we are not becoming currently what we are today. So mention conclude by the balance statement as well. Next question. This is a social context, not a biological reality. PYQ again. Okay, and very static and common question. Okay, what? So when you are going to start this answer, start by definition of a race. Definitely in terms of a key race is not from the biological concept. It has his social context as well. So start by this definition and terms, and apart from that, you have to mention about the Ashley Montagu's definition of a race. Okay, where I already mentioned in the model answer. Okay, this is not a biological concept but a myth of a society. The term race should be replaced by the ethnic group or the populations group to reflect the cultural and social realities. So you have to mention this definition, not a generic race definition. Why I am telling you this? Because question is related ki race is a social context, not is a biological concept. So that's why you have to mention this definition under the intro. Then under the first part of the body, you have to mention ki why it is not a biological concept. Okay, mention about this first, and then ki why it is a social context, and then anthropological perspective. Definitely, while you are writing the anthropological perspective, mention about the UNESCO statement ki no race is a pure currently. Okay, so definitely mention this, and then conclude ki anthropological role or a play in this terms. Okay, in this study on how anthropology play a significant role to study ki how race is a social term, not a biological term. And you can mention about the cultural relativism part, a small example under the conclusions as well, ki where we are talking about ki every culture has its own impact, or every race is evolved and it has its own qualities, and we are a intermix. Okay, not, we are not a pure form. So that's why anthropology has a statement on this. So you can conclude by this statement as well. Next question: what do you mean by human genetics? Write a brief note on a Mendelian genetics in man. It are two questions. What do you mean by the human genetics, and what is a brief note on a Mendelian genetics in man? 20 marker question, very direct static question, and I know everyone is going to the examination hall before reading this answer about topic. Okay, I know you all are going to read this human genetics part, because it has every year almost 1 or 2 questions are coming in, at least for from 15 marker or a 20 marker or a 10 marker question. Okay, so definitely this is static question to start by the definition of a human genetics and its scopes. Okay, under the intro, this is a 20 marker question, remember this. So you can use 40 words for writing the intro, and then under the first part of the body, explain about the structure of genes and heredity in humans. Definitely, then first part, this part will be over ki what is the meaning of a human genetics. Now second part, describe about the Mendel work, and with the diagram, definitely draw the diagram while you are explaining about the Mendel, and applications when you are explaining about the application. Okay, and here's the examples as well, and the pedigree analyze. Okay, peas में किस तरह से उन्होंने 7 generation study किया था, you have to mention this thing. And then apart from that, impact or a significance of the Mendelian research or a Mendelian applications. And then before you going to start, because it's a 20 marker question, before you start explaining about the Mendelian work, now do one thing, mention few lines about the Mendel and then start. Okay, about the Mendel, and mention few lines about him. Okay, he recognized after his death, mention that, and then mention about his application and work, and then the last part of the body, impact or importance of his work, and then conclude by, and you can conclude by the importance of studying the Mendelian genetics and the context in the health and anthropology as well, or anthropological relevance. You can conclude this answer. Discuss the CH-Cole classification of a social group. Discuss how primary group can be formed within the secondary group. This is a 2 question, but this is not a 2 question. This is actually a 1 question if you know the context. That's why. And this question is from the unit 2.2. Okay, and along with the unit 6. So, when we are talking about the Cole, we know one thing very well. Okay, first you have to briefly describe about the Cole, because question is start from him only, and after that you have to mention how his social classification. Here you have to mention about the primary and the secondary social groups as he mentioned. But one more thing you have to remember, secondary social group or secondary society, he did not mention the secondary term, okay, but he gave the theory, but he did not mention the term. He only mentioned about the primary group, not the secondary group. Okay, you have to mention this line as well. Okay, then under the first part of the body, discuss, he is talking about the group, to discuss about the primary group, because specifically he mentioned about the primary group and the definition, characteristics and the importance. Definitely discuss then about the secondary group, and when you are going to mention about the secondary group, mention this line. Kohli was explaining about the secondary group but did not give the term. Okay, then definition, features and role of a modern society, then show how primary group can emerge within the secondary group, because second part question is that only, and this part is very very important. And with the, and here when you are explaining about the how primary group has evolving within the secondary group, mention the examples as well. Then under the conclusion, emphasize the relevance and the interdependence of a both group types in society, how both the groups has its own importance and they are interlinked with each other. Conclude by the balance statement. Definitely. Next question, what is a fraternal polyandry, and illustrate with the help of an example. You can see here कि this is the type of a marriage. So definitely I would have recommended you, this is a 15 marker question. Either start by the fraternal polyandry definition, or start by the marriage definition. Then under the first part of the body, just make a diagram, key types of a marriage. Okay, under types of a marriage, and then this makes a chart. Okay, flow chart. Okay, explain about the types of a marriage, and then this is under the first part of the body, not under the introduction. Okay, then define about key one of the most important type is a fraternal polyandry. Then explain and introduce about the fraternal polyandry. Then under the second part headings should be the characteristic and structure. Then provide the ethnographic and literary examples, and discuss the reason and implications of the fraternary polyandry. And one more thing you can mention under the conclusion is, what is the contemporary relevance? Okay, in or how it is declining. You have to mention about the balance, how it is declining, and it has a contemporary relevance as well. Second, next question. Compare and contrast the works of Radcliffe Brown and Malinowski in relations to the functional theory. Asking about the functional theory, mentioned the two pioneer anthropologists named Brown and Malinowski. So definitely define or start. This is a 20 marker question. Remember to definitely start by the functional theory first. Okay, and then explain or mentioning under the first part of the body, explain about or mention about the Brown and Malinowski, and then come to their work. Okay, don't jump into their work. First explain about them, and then mentioning the comparison of Malinowski and Brown, and then after that the similarities between the Malinowskis and Brown, and then the similarities between them. Then under the last part of the body, mention the criticism of their theories, and conclude how both has a huge impact in the contemporary society. That's it. Completely proper static questions, but conclude how their theory has its impact in our contemporary society. Next question. Differentiate between the method and methodology in anthropological research. How is technology shaping contemporary fieldwork practice? So this is a unit 8 questions firstly. Secondly, differentiate between the methodology Okay, very static. And how technology shaping the contemporary fieldwork practice. Usually one type of question is come as differentiate between the method, methodology and technology. Okay, where you are explaining about this thing and making the diagram how method, methodology is working one under each other. Okay, but here is a completely asking about the difference between the method and methodology. So start by definitions of what is the research methodology. Okay, then explain, because this is a 15 marker question, and then under the body part you can mention about the method and methodology. Okay, not under the intro. I'm going to tell you because it's the mention about the what is the research methodology. Okay, and then explain about the method and methodology, their differences as well as their similarities. Definitely you have to mention. Now, how is technology shaping the contemporary fieldwork? Then explain ki how technology shaping the contemporary fieldwork, or it has a completely not completely, it has few little bit changing we can see when lots of technologies arrived. Okay, nowadays. Okay, in the initial stage we can see ki anthropologists were using the recorders, okay, pen, notepad. Currently we are using the iPad, laptop, okay, cameras, mic, different kind of, okay, we can interview any tribals through the video call as well. Okay, during my research fieldwork method, during my research, okay, what I did, I went to that field. Okay, I was staying with them for 3 times, but I did not able to meet one pioneer member over there. He was went to some other place for performing his dance form. Okay, so what I did, I was conducting a Zoom call, and I take his interview through the video call only. Okay, so in this way we can use this technology currently, and we are during our field work. So that because I was doing in this way, so that's why I know how it is much effective currently. Okay, so you can mention all this point under your headings. Okay, the role of a technology, we are using AI, language tools. Okay, you were doing video call to take any video interviews. Okay, and apart from that we are using the different kind of cameras, and we can shoot our interviews or a questionnaire sessions. So you can mention all this point under this part, and then conclude by the how traditional technology and modern technology is going hand on hand. We are still using our pen, pad, notes, okay, recorders. We are still using that. Okay, so we are note down this thing. So we are still using the old method, as well as we are evolving towards our new method as well. So you have to conclude by this balance statement how new method and old method are working simultaneously, or using, we are using, being an anthropologist, simultaneously. Now next, how have changing social economy and technological factors altered traditional patterns of a kingship in contemporary society? I was just telling you just a few minutes back when I was discussing about the family structure, how it's changed during the COVID or after the COVID. That time I said to you कि we can see the kingship pattern also changed. Okay, discuss with the suitable example. So define, definitely, because question is around the kingship only. Define kingship and state and its traditional structure, of course. Then mention the social factors, individualism, gender, and then how it is changed, how kingship structure is changed nowadays. So key factors changing the kingship systems. So when heading should be the key factors to changing the kingship system. Under this, mention about the social factor, economical factor, technological factor, alteration in kingship patterns with the contemporary examples. Then you have conclude by the key how kingship is now modern race has his completely different, changing the kingship pattern, and but still we have the same kingship. We have the same base as well. So you can conclude by this kingship is adapting to the modern reality while retaining the core function as well. So we have the core base or core function. Apart from that, we are kingship pattern or system is evolving in simultaneously. Okay, so one thing I'm going to tell you, when you are going to read any static part now, do one thing, analyze the previous year questions. Okay, then you get to know what is the demand of the UPSC first, and apart from that, relate that theme, that topic in the contemporary basis, how it has changed in contemporary, or it has a contemporary impact. So in this way you can make your conclusions ready. If any question will come, you can conclude by the contemporary levels, or it has a contemporary impact, positive impact. So just do one thing, please, in your notes put that key when you are static, read the static part properly and connect with the contemporary. In the class also, I am going to teach in this manners only. Now next, critically analyze the Bergman and the Allen rules. Define the geographical rules and their relevance to the human adaptations. Okay, so definitely mention the human adaptations rule. Okay, and then explain about the theory. Okay, both the theory, explain and examples, and then criticize along with the theory. When you are mentioning about the Bregman rule, you have to explain along with the point, the criticism, and then Allen theory of rules. Okay, explain, example, and the criticism. Then critically analyze of the applications in the modern human, how it has his impact, or rules has an impact in the modern day or in the modern time, and then conclude by the fundamental or its rules has how it applied in the contemporary timing, or in the or on the study of a human populations. Okay, to conclude in this manners, and this is also completely a direct as static questions. Epidemiology, nutrition, aging, and public health have applied components of a physical anthropology. How? This is also a static question. This is from the unit 12. Okay, so of course define the physical anthropology first, because here is asking directly about the physical anthropology. Okay, and then it's a applied aspects or a applied part. Okay, explain about the applied part, and then under the first part of the body, mention about the role of epidemiology, and then nutrition, diet, growth, how it has an impact positively. Okay, it has a role, positive role. Okay, aging, okay, biological aging, and then public health you have to mention about their roles and the features as well. Features and role, functions and role are almost similar. The features mentioned and the role, and conclude by the key demonstrate the integrative value of anthropology in the addressing the real world health issue. How in all the study is happening by the physical anthropologists. So well, we are going to study all this, how we are addressing the real problem of the world, and conclude by the definitely with the example as well. Okay, and one more thing, because this is a 15 marker question, under the last part of the body you can mention about the limitation. What is how limitation you will going to explain? What is the limitation anthropologists face while fieldwork or while playing this role? Okay, as a epidemiologist or a nutrition, diet, or a aging, what kind of problem physical anthropologists face is during this study or working on this role? Okay, you have to mention under the limitations. Okay. Then next question, difference between the functionalism and structural functionalism. We see one question from the Brown and Malinowski, and you can see why this is a. I am asking not about the Brown and Malinowski here. I am asking about the functionalism and structural functionalism. So definitely, this is also a completely static question. Or here you have to mention about the different anthropologists' name as well, apart from the Malinowski and the Brown. Okay, so you have to start by the definition of a functionalism and the structural functionalism. Or you can do one thing, in the intro you can define about the functionalism, then under the first part of the body mention about the define about the functionalism and the structural functionalism. And here you can mention about the Pioneer. The functionalism Pioneer is a Brown, Malinowski, and the structural functionalism Pioneer is the Radcliffe Brown. Okay, then you have to mention the differences between both, similarities definitely, and then write about the different anthropologists name. Under the functionalism you have to mention about the Tyler, River, okay, Evan Pritchard, and then Raymond Field. Okay, then under the structural functionalism you have to mention about the Evan Pritchard as well, and then Meyer, Fonts, and then Nagel. You have to mention three names, and about apart from that you have to mention about the Talcott person as well under the structural functionalism, and then conclude by both the structural functionalism and functionalism has his huge impact. Both the theories in the cultural terms has this huge impact, and it has give the individual structure as well as the individual this has his own impact in the contemporary society. So you can conclude by how both the thing has his impact in the contemporary society. Okay, you can conclude by this way. So today I'm going to end this session. I'm already discussed this. I'm going to provide. I'll tell the team they will going to put the PDF in the description box. And apart from that, if you guys wanted to connect with me directly, I will give the institute number in the description box. You can contact with me and utilize this free mock test. It will till validation till the 31st of August. And apart from that, you can I can give you one-on-one mentorship. I can talk to you as well, and we can discuss about your preparation and stuff. Those who are not writing mails, for those, and those who are writing mails, for them I'm going to tell you, I'm going to take a 1 or 2 important session with them. And apart from that, I'll be available during your between your GS and as well as the anthropology examinations. Okay, and I will talk to you one-on-one during that phase as well, and I will take few sessions during that period as well. And I'm going to discuss your copy. So utilize this test series, and all the best. Thank you.